I want to share a story about something that happened roughly 5 years ago when 46 choir members walked onto a stage of the TV show America's Got Talent, and Steph Johnson introduced this choir to the world.
Hello.
Whoa.
Hi, everyone.
Welcome.
Hello.
Okay, and tell me the name of the choir, please.
This is the Voices of Our City Choir.
Yeah.
It's a choir I started about 4 years ago for people experiencing homelessness in San Diego.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
What an amazing idea.
There were so many people living unsheltered in my neighborhood. I met musicians and singers, and I was like, wow, we could put together a group and sing together.
Yeah.
And there's people who are in the choir, they can't afford medicine, they can't afford rent, so we help them out.
Right.
And through the money that we've raised, we've helped people get off the street.
Wow. What's the song you're going to do?
The choir actually wrote the song.
Oh, wow.
We have a songwriting workshop.
Okay, good. Let's see what happens in the next 2 or 3 minutes.
Awesome.
The choir describes this moment as being connected with the largest audience they'd ever sung for, a shared connection that filled the entire theater.
Listen to the sound of the sidewalk.
This wasn't just a performance. It was a conversation with thousands of strangers who suddenly felt like friends. And when that conversation ended, Terry Crews was so moved he did something that only happens a few precious times each season of AGT. Something that amplified the sense of purpose of each person on that stage.
Simon, I gotta stop you right now.
Okay.
Well, you said there's nothing but talk going on.
Yep.
But it's time to make something happen right now. For everybody on this stage. What they did today has moved me.
5 years later, the energy of that moment is a carefully honored legacy. What we leave behind when we dare to be vulnerable in front of the world. What happens when we stop whispering and start singing. What started as one moment of validation has grown into 5 years of transformation as the people on that stage have become their own beacons of hope and inspiration. From a stage in Pasadena to a community in San Diego, from that golden buzzer moment of celebration to the lives being transformed today, that's the legacy we're celebrating in today's interview. I'm Cherie, and this is Sounds of the Sidewalk, a podcast from Voices of Our City, where music meets mission and we celebrate the inherent creativity and inspiration hiding in plain sight. Voices of Our City uses the arts to support people navigating our housing crisis, and today we're celebrating a moment that changed everything for the people of this creative family.
You're listening to
Sounds
of the Sidewalk.
All right. Welcome to Sounds of the Sidewalk podcast.
Today, we have a very special episode because we are celebrating
The 5th year anniversary of the Golden Buzzer at AGT.
Yeah. And if you can kind of hear, we do have extra people today, more than usual, more than 2 or 3. So we're going to go around the table introducing everybody. We're going to start by introducing our friend here, Victor. Welcome in.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Victor B. Lang, and I've been with the choir now for 6 years, early 2019, and you probably can tell I'm a bass.
Moving on, we got...
Hey, this is Raven. That's so Raven. And and I've been in the choir. I think they were starting to do with Patti LaBelle, and I ran and joined. I've been about 6 or 7, and I'm a tenor. Mm-hmm. And I love it.
My name is Irma Gutierrez Rencher. And I've been in the choir about 6 or 7 years.
Nice.
I'm Dennis Garcia. I have been in this wonderful choir for over 9 years, and I am a tenor.
And we also have someone very special to this whole organization since the beginning. If you want to introduce yourself, Steph?
Yes, my name is Steph Johnson, and I am the creative director and CEO. I serve as the CEO of the organization. And so I've been in the choir now for about as long as Dennis, 9 years. Started it about 9 years ago.
And my name is Enrique, and I just had the 4th year anniversary working here at Voices. So
awesome.
Yeah. Well, Enrique, you want to intro us into what we're going to be talking about today? Set the scene.
So on this beautiful day, you guys are at AGT. You see Terry Crews walking down the aisle, walking around to Simon Cowell, and he lifts up his hand, and he's slow motion, he's going down to hit the golden buzzer, and he hits it, and all this confetti is raining down, and the crowd is roaring. What was that moment like in that time? Like, how did you feel? What was going through your mind? How much work did it take to get there? Who wants to share first?
I'll start off. For me, it was a dream come true. We put so much hard work, dedication into the song we all wrote together. I remember when Francesca helped us write it, and all the people who were there. It was a fantastic moment for us. We all did our very best. I'm proud of everybody who went.
I heard somebody fell off the stage that day. I wonder who was
I heard you
culprit.
had something to do with that.
Did you fall off the stage?
No, that was actually Juan because he snuck up beside me.
What?
Because if you can read my lips during the video, I was saying, "Oh my God," and silently.
Because he pushed Juan off the stage.
I rose my hands up, and I didn't even know he was beside me, and he fell off.
Oh, you pushed one. You knocked him off?
But that's not the only one that
That's
fell.
the first 5 years. I just heard that story. I didn't know that.
Juan told it in the last interview.
In the last interview, yeah.
He got up and went and hugged everybody and tried to play it off.
That's why he went up and gave the hand to Simon Cowell because he was on the floor already. He was nearby because he fell off.
That's so funny.
Wow.
How about for you, Irma? How was that experience?
The experience was really kind of like otherworldly because we're standing there and this is happening. It's unbelievable. The confetti comes raining down. One of our members fell on the floor in the front.
Yes.
Patricia.
Right? And yes. Yeah. And everybody was, what's happening? Is she okay? Is she having an episode? And so we were looking at her. And then Simon Cowell was up on the stage and he came over to me and I was thinking about his TV persona. Right. And I was thinking, oh my gosh, he was the absolute nicest, most gentlemanly individual I'd ever met. And he was fully present while he was talking to me. It was really incredible.
I'm glad to hear that. That's something I didn't know happened afterwards.
Actually, all the judges walked up on stage, which I think is a unique happening. Normally, it's just the judge that gave the golden buzzer. And maybe out of concern because Patricia had fallen to the ground. But yeah, all the judges came up on stage. And I remember Heidi Klum was up in your hair. Remember that, Raven?
Oh my God, Heidi Klum was loving my braids.
Loving Raven's hair. She was like, wow,
how long did it take to do that?
And Raven's like, okay.
I was like, oh, okay. I was shocked because I love Heidi Klum. I love all of them.
They're great.
Heidi Klum is she's... Yeah, it's very special. So she came and touched my hair, and I was just like, really? Okay. Thank you so much. that was really nice. That's really nice. He got me ready at least. What else is next? Yeah.
Yeah, for me, it was, what was going through my mind was, yep, I knew it. Because day one, when I came to the choir, I was like, this choir is going places. I said that verbally out loud as I was walking home. And I said, I don't know where, but it's going places. And I'm going to be right there with it because I love the positivity and all of that energy that comes with the choir. And so and it also took me back to many years ago when I used to just watch AGT. I'd be like, I could be on that stage. I could be on that stage. And I like how Simon is really hard on people. And so when all the graffiti came down, I remember reaching, grabbing some of them. I'm like, yeah, we'll keep this stuff. And everybody was kind of concerned with Patricia. I saw the joy I was in the back, and I even saw the joy in Patricia as she jumped in the air. And I just knew everything was okay because it was just pure joy the way she jumped up. And I watched Simon and everyone stand up. Simon did a slow stand up and started to clap. We had us, and everyone stood up, and it was just amazing. And then he came on stage, and I walked up to him, and I said, "Thank you for being hard on people," and he said, "Yes." And then we turned, and I said, "This young lady here, yes, she deserves that. She deserved because she wrote that piece." And he was like, "Yes, is she okay?" And he was like, "Yes, she's okay." And then he walked away, and I was just enjoying that moment of joy that I saw literally on everybody's faces. I just kind of just watched, and I just watched. Everybody was in this ecstatic state of just pure joy, and I was like, wow. And that's what we bring to the choir every day. And the audience was in on it too. They just loved it. It wasn't staged. They just loved it,
The clip from like TV is a condensed 30-minute experience, maybe a 45-minute experience on the stage from when we walked out. And right before we went out on stage, about an hour and a half or so before we went out on stage, they wanted to do some B-roll and some footage with us with Terry Crews.
Yeah.
And everybody was pumped. Everybody was like, "Oh yeah!" And so like the energy was epic. And he's got that nice suit on, and he's asking me questions, and we're
suit.
Yes, a peach pink satin suit.
Okay.
And we told him like what was happening for our members through the work together of being a choir, and also like what we were working to help people kind of piece together their lives and get like the things they needed together. And he was like, "That is cool," and I was like, "Right," and he's like, "Right," and like everyone was like, "Yeah," like it was so cool. So then we had this quick conversation, and there's like, I don't know, so many different producers on a show like that. Everybody's a producer. And so you turn around and be like, "Hi, I'm Nigel. I'm the producer with the show. Hi, I'm, Tony. I'm the producer with the show." And so I'm just like, okay, everyone's a producer. Oh, wow. And right before we went on, these two producers came to me and they said, "Okay, so here's what's going to happen. You're going to go out. The judges are going to ask you," like they only piecemealed us information little by little of what was to expect. Do you remember that?
Yes.
And for me, it was just so surreal. And this was like after us being there for 48 hours. Mm-hmm. So we had already done all this B-roll shoot and, taken a bus up there, and we were all in hotel rooms and nobody knew where anybody was. And then someone's upset because they got pizza, and, it's like, it was just like funny and hilarious. But then right before we go on stage, right? So I'm already like feeling this like, okay, like we've done a sound check, like we've got to hit this mark, and we've worked so hard. So I could play guitar. They didn't want me to direct. They wanted me to go be with the band. But I talked on stage to the audience and to the judges when they asked questions. But the judges, so these producers, they pull me aside and they go, "Okay, so here's what's going to happen. And this, and I'm listening to them. And I started to ask them questions. They go, "It's just we're just giving you a little. It's just you're gonna." Okay. I was like, okay, like it was like more annoying than anything. I was like, what are you telling me? What are you not telling me? Where am I going? What's happening? So anyway, so we started the taping out that day. So they do 2 tapings every day, and it was a Sunday. And we roll, and they told us this audience is gonna be like the most enthusiastic audience you've ever performed for in your life. And they were not lying. So like to what you were saying about the audience, What they don't show you on camera is that they gave us like 3 or 4 standing ovations during the song. Do you remember that?
Yes.
They were like intensely into the song and into the mission, because before we started, Simon was asking me about who we are, what's so special about the choir, and we just answered all these questions, and then he asked a question like, so who's the oldest? And I was like, why are you going to walk around asking people that, Simon? And so like the audience is kind of laughing. And I said, well, shoot, I don't know. Marilyn, I think, was like, I'm 72 or something like that, So it kind of, we had this like little like ease and banter going on.
Yeah, and you also asked who was the youngest.
Oh, I did? Who was the youngest at the time?
Ricky.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Ricky. And so anyway, but I'm kind of jumping around, but when it came time to like, okay, now go to your position and go start the song. And I start the song playing a downstroke on the guitar, and I sing the first part. And I think I asked for water.
You did.
Because they had talked to me for 20 minutes.
Yes.
And I was so parched. I was like, can I get some water, actually?
I remember that so clearly, Steph, because you was like, I remember thinking, Steph is commanded the stage now, and she's going to do it her way. and you said, can I have some water? And then you took your water. And then after that, you got poised, and we got into it.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks, Victor. Thank you for seeing me. Well, when you're nervous and you're also trying to say and communicate, it's a real special place to be on the mic, speaking on behalf of a group of people.
Yeah.
And so I also have a moment to speak to at least 3,000 people in the audience. And if it's shown on TV, how many more people are going to get to know our mission and know who we are? So when your brain is working like that hard, and you're kind of, schwitzing, you're kind of sweating a little bit, but your throat gets really tight. And I talked for a long time, and I'm in the lights. I was like, okay, I need some refreshment. I need a water, please. And so we do the song. We get all these like this action from the crowd, and then we finish. And then each judge said their thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I remember like it was all positive, but it was kind of like, okay. And then I remember thinking, is this it? I was like, okay, this is a lot of work for And then that's when Terry Crews came off the front of the stage.
Started yelling.
And then and the choir the audience starts screaming, and the choir starts screaming.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know who was behind me, but somebody was like, push the buzzer, like somebody's like screaming down at me. And like, I mean, I have a hard time watching audition shows. Like I have like comedians and auditions. It just like drives me crazy. It can be really good, but if it isn't, I just feel really bad. So I really didn't know what to expect. Cause again, the producers only gave us little nuggets. They didn't really tell us what to expect because they want it to be, if it's organic and you get the golden buzz, you don't know that's going to happen. You don't know what's going to be. And so Terry Crews says that whole thing and he slams the buzzer and, like the loudest sound goes off on stage and all the confetti shoots everywhere. Rob, my husband on bass, is confused. He doesn't know what's happening, right? Because Ed on keys is doused in confetti. He's like completely covered. And I remember Lorna's cry. I'll never forget Lorna's like tears. Other people were like shooting it out of their face, like, and Lorna was just like, like it was like this such a tender moment, for Patricia dropping to the ground to like, when you see the video, it always brings tears to my eyes. Willie grabbing and reaching for the confetti, just like it really meant a lot. It was it was such a like,
and it was an original song that you guys
made,
yes,
right? Absolutely, and that's powerful too.
Yes,
yeah,
that's really powerful. We put our own song out there, and on those shows, they kind of be like, "Oh, you doing it and doing an original?
That's true.
Okay, you better be good."
Original, you better be good.
We really gave it.
That's true.
It was like, wow.
I mean, I watched it too. It's pretty powerful.
Yeah, it is.
What got me was when we came there, and the people that worked there were behind us or setting up things. And we started rehearsing, and they knew the song.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, so as many choir members and band, there were that many crew people on stage. So like 50 of us, 50 of them at least. Remember that?
Yes.
Everyone in a black, choop 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 choop.
Yep.
And after we did our sound check, I think the guys were singing it, but definitely after we finished, they were like, "Listen to the sounds of silence." And I was just like, wait a minute, what's happening?
Come join the choir.
That's when I knew we might get in here this way, to get in somehow or another. And then all of a sudden, Terry Crews came up. Wait a minute. But I remember.
And I was gonna go. Wait a minute, because how did we even get here? Because how did you guys get to the America's Got Talent? Was there an audition? Like, how did you guys get there?
Well, so before we talk about the audition, they reached out multiple times. They saw a video of us online. They thought it was an amazing group of people. And they were like, can you come audition? And at the time, we were just like so grassroots, like still grassroots, but like really struggling. And, you know, I was physically, and my health was really bad actually too. So I was like down, up and down. I was pretty sick.
Yep.
And I was like, there's no way we could go to LA and go put something together and be ready. And they were like, they kept calling. And then my friend John, who was helping us with PR or whatever at the time, he said, oh, you said no to AGT? He said, oh, they're gonna be calling. Like, he's like, oh, you said no to NBC, you know? Like, and so they really, really in a
NBC
genuine
Universal.
way.
Yes.
They came back and they said, please, can we just have one more minute of your time? We are going to come to San Diego, and we're going to do an audition, and it's going to be like an invite. You know, it's like a, you know, different people are coming. We're going to do it at the convention center. We will help with transportation. We'll have medics. Because that was the other thing. It was just me and a couple other people. We didn't have really like employees. You know, I didn't have so it was just me, kind of like, you know, there wasn't many of us. So, anyways, so we get to the convention center. Victor, what do you remember from that audition?
I remember when you came back. I remember when you said no. You said no, and
Don't let that be the message here. There was a lot going on. That was the right answer.
You came back and you asked everybody, what do you think? And everybody was like, yes.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
That's true.
And so we went, and when I got there, I was like, how in the world did AGT put together something like this, and nobody knew about it? Because when they do casting calls, there be lines running all the way down the building everywhere. So I was like, these people went out of their way to invite us, you know, so we got to be really good. And when we was in that room and we did it, you could actually hear the next performer really, really good. And so we could hear them perform. And then when we went in there, I don't know how anybody else felt, but I thought that we did excellent in there. And all the other cast members that was on, they were like, y'all did great. And it was beautiful. It was beautiful.
I want to circle back because I did bring it back to the choir. Everything that we've ever done, right?
Yes,
like with things that we're going to do as a group, I say, do you want to do this?
Yeah.
So I did. I said, listen, AGT's reaching out. And they were like, yeah. Said, do you want to go and audition for this TV show? And I remember the choir looked around me and all, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Was that everybody's initial reaction? I guess.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Everybody was pretty much like, yeah, let's go.
That's right.
So I had to say yes. I was like, okay, well, that's what we're doing.
So what do you guys do for the audition again?
Sounds of the Sidewalk.
You know, Dennis was talking about Francesca Valle, a great songwriter, producer, singer, donated her time along with some other songwriters. But Francesca was a regular and led that songwriting workshop once a week.
Yes.
And different songwriters came and were a part of that. Stephen
Reed,
Patricia, and the first line, rolling on the pavement,
Rolling down the pavement
with the 1-2 beat. He was in a wheelchair, and he would roll around, and so he wrote like, I remember he would write a verse really fast, and he would slam his pin down and he'd slide across. He'd be like, boom. I don't want to hit the table, but he'd like, bam, and he'd go like this. And so the first verse I think was all Stephen.
It was,
and then Patricia wrote that whole spoken word, but all of that was from. You know,
What an organic.
Yes.
The way the song
may I make
came
a
together.
comment about Stephen?
Yes.
We had a moment before we went on stage where we were thinking of him, and we got him on the phone because he was very, very ill.
Oh wow! Yeah.
And so we were all in a huge we gathered together, got really, really close together.
It was actually after we got it. After we
it was
got
it?
after.
Oh, I thought it was
And we
before.
called him to tell him, but he was like on he was on his deathbed.
It was
Yeah, because I got to agree with Irma, because I actually saw Steven 3 days before we actually left for AGT. I told him, I'll see you when I get back, buddy. I love you.
Mm-hmm.
And when we
his house,
left
didn't we?
that day,
We went to his house.
I remembered that I told him, I'll let you know what's going to happen,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll make sure your words go out
Mm-hmm.
to everybody.
And the choir, we all went down in like the lobby, and I asked everyone to put their hands on each other's shoulders and backs, and we made like a circle, and we called him. And John was with him. John stayed back. To
John
stay
was
them.
with him, yes.
And he goes, oh, okay, hold on. Let me put the phone up to him. And so we put the phone. I mean, he wasn't responsive really anymore. His eyes were closed. He was like really at his last stage. And I said, Steven, we just got the golden buzzer for Sounds of the Sidewalk, like the song you helped write, you know? And then you could hear John say like, oh, he opened his eyes. Like he heard us. He heard you. So he like heard it. And I know I'm jumping ahead and I'm crying already. But the amazing thing about that is like, we do all that, we wrap that up, we come home. It's so kind of like surreal what just happened. And in the morning, we found out he died.
Oh.
So he passed. It was like the last message. But we were like, your words will live on. Your words are going to live on forever in such an epic way.
You know, John was the very first person when I walked in the door. When I first came to the choir, and he was like, come on in. And I was like, and I kind of gauge everything. And I'm like, okay, this isn't fake. This is real. And I felt like I was the number one customer walking in, the way he treated me. And he said, come on in, sit down, enjoy yourself. So I sat down and I just said, I'm gonna watch them for a little bit. And I watched him, and every person he came in the door, he did the same thing too. And I watched him every time. I was like, this guy is genuine. Anyway, long story short, when we did the pre-thing up there, the Civic
Convention
Center,
Center, yeah.
Convention Center, John and I, we were sitting beside each other. And we were like, man, that was really good. We're good. We're going to get it. And I remember he saying, we can get this golden buzzer. And we was like, we could get $1 million. And I remember you saying stuff. Okay now. And John and I looked at each other and said, it's something we need to talk about because we can get the golden buzzer. That's what him and I said. You know, so when we were at that moment and his eyes opened, I said to myself, my thoughts went right back to that moment at the convention center, because we whispered and we said, we can get the golden buzzer, you know, and we've been invited to this special thing here, you know, so obviously they're looking at what's going on, you know. So I thought it was just for him to feel that emotion at the very end, you know, I think that the choir just gave him life. It gave him joy.
Totally.
And he enjoyed sharing that with everybody. And I think we carry that on, you know, every day when we come together, you know, with the choir and whatever we do and sing.
Yeah.
That's so powerful that he lives on.
Yes.
In those words and those songs. And that's what's so beautiful about the original music that you guys make together and how you guys put it all together and watch you guys sing
Same with
it.
Patricia.
Yeah.
I mean, Patricia's passed away now.
She did the poem. Did she write
She wrote the poem.
She wrote the poem.
She wrote the whole poem.
Yeah.
And the interesting thing about Patricia, you know, her voice right that day is really like, oh, you know, it's like got this raspiness. So remember, we went to LA and they had us doing all this, you know, behind the scenes taping and stuff, and it pooped her out. It made a lot of us tired. We were up till like 11:30 or midnight the night before, I think, or 10 or 11, right?
Yeah, just about
Some
that.
of us filming. And so she was exhausted. And so when she woke up that day to do she didn't have a voice.
Oh.
And so we were supposed to be checked out of the hotel room. And Beck said, Patricia's can't speak. And I was like, who's going to do Patricia's part? You know, but also like, keep her in the hotel room so she can recover and feel better, you know? So we were just kind of, okay, we'll just wing it like we do, you know, like we'll figure it out in the moment. And right in the last moment, Patricia was like, okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to be there.
Yeah.
And so she showed up and then she delivered it You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I really think that like
I didn't know that part.
her truth coming through in that moment, like the music's grooving and we're having joy and we're like this amoeba, like moving organism thing that's like on stage having a good time, you know? And then when Patricia delivers those words, like even the judge was like, "Oh wow," you know, Sophia Loren, "Oh wow," or they go, "Oh."
Simon Cowell said that part that he did was never heard anything like that before.
Yeah.
He was very impressed.
His voice was like
Which-
stellar voice too.
Yes. And there's so much, you know, incredible artistry in the choir. There's so many beautiful voices and things that we get to hear from those writing sessions, you know, that maybe doesn't all get put into the song, right? But like everybody comes with so much depth and in the middle of singing to hear something that's written from someone who has maybe, you know I'm jumping around, but like Patricia was treated with so much respect after that. She said, man, people are holding my door open. People are holding my door open now when I'm coming in a building. They're like helping me get through, you know? So I'm so glad that happened. But yeah, up to the last minute was like, we weren't sure if she was going to even be on stage.
Yeah. And she delivered a powerful performance.
Yeah.
I want to say the wording on that song. Oh my gosh, the wording on that song was amazing. What gets me is how Steph, to get the information and put it together, and it always comes out the bomb. You know, I'll be like, how did she do? How did they do that like that? And the song, because the song was, when I first heard the song, I was just like, oh yeah, this is the song. So you know, I can say that we put our words together for songs very well.
Yeah,
Miss Steph Johnson.
I know that Dennis, you got a really good, very vivid memory about this whole time. Is there something that really stuck out to you, either whether was it when you guys were writing this particular song or going?
For me, I've been a fan of AGT since it first started. I was watching it at home every day when it was on. Then when I joined the choir after 3 weeks of the documentary airing at the library, I thought my friend was a little crazy. But then, of course, I met Steph and the rest of the crew. It's like, you know what? This is family. I'm staying. Then when we started doing Sounds of the Sidewalk, songwriting, it's like, you know what? I'm going to start writing too. So I put my own words into the song. Pennies falling down into a paper cup. I knew that was part of my line.
Cool. Was it?
Yeah.
That's amazing. Did it make you feel like an energy to write more?
Exactly.
Yeah, do more.
Me right now, I'm actually in the process of writing my own original song.
Cool.
Like a farewell song to my father.
It's beautiful. You know, the group of people that come together every week to write music, some have, but some haven't, you know? So, you know, that's the nature of the group, is that there's a core, but sometimes the core, you know, gets busy, and then new people are there all the time, right? And so to create a space where people can be vulnerable and share from their personal experience, feel safe to share, safe to try, safe to like explore a new art form. And then, you know, to what you're saying, Raven, about, you know, I think of my favorite producers and I always thank them, but the producer would always say, without your words, without your music, I have nothing to do. So it's really a shared experience of everybody contributing.
I remember the process of when y'all were doing the song, but I wasn't there for any of the songwriting of that song. But I know y'all finished up, and then we started singing it with all the different parts and everything. I was like, oh my gosh, this is like a song that's perfect for what this choir is all about. You know, just walking down the streets, you know, I've heard you say many times, you decided to start a choir just because you saw the homelessness outside on the streets, and what could you do about it? And so, and it's just every line of the song has something powerful to say.
Yes.
And
Worthy.
I could tell it comes right from the heart of everyone here. And so one thing I noticed was I feel that all the songs that we write, this one and all the songs we write, whether I'm there or not, I feel connected to it. I remember another song we wrote, and Dennis, you said, "Come on in, Victor, we done wrote another song." I remember coming into chapel. That was the first time we got to this place here, and I heard it, and I was like, "Oh, I forget what it was." But anyway, I remember saying, "Wow, another song," and it just connects to all of what the choir is about. So I was like, yeah, I wrote that too, basically, because I'm a part of this choir, But here's something interesting. You know how when you up at AGT and they have to condense that song down into just a couple of seconds, couple of minutes,
That's
couple
right.
of minutes, literally. And literally that song did not lose any of its power, even though we crunched it down to get it in on that clip of AGT. It didn't lose any of its. Matter of fact, it seemed like it caught so much power and energy just with what we were doing and the way we gave it, So I thought that was really, really
That was something
powerful.
before the producer said, can you shave it down? But the way we learn music in the choir and the way we have been singing it already,
Right.
it's really hard to change direction with a group of people when
Yeah.
you're so used to a certain form. So I said, no, we can't change it.
And I
Like, this
remember
is what it
saying,
is.
Uh-oh, this is going to be a challenge.
Well, they said, okay, but they cut it in post-production. And they just made it like the sections as much as they could show and share in that moment. But they let us play it how we needed to, how we knew it, which was going to be better for our performance. But then they did a post edit, and it was great.
We also have to highlight it wasn't a regular AGT season for you guys. It was in the middle of COVID because you guys were able to do the audition. The last live audition, and
Yes.
then COVID hit, right, and everything was shut down. How
Yes.
how was it navigating? I mean, not only are you navigating going through a show, it's a competition show, and then on top of that, it's a nonprofit. We're out here helping people, trying to get them out the streets. I can't imagine how stressful it would have been.
From my perspective, we came back, we had a meeting at the old church at Living Water, and everyone was kind of euphoric, and it was just amazing. And literally the next day, the world shut down.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I remember Mindy, who was serving on our board chair, and John, who was helping with PR and stuff, a small team, like volunteers, I think we got to close down practice. I think we got to close down for at least a week. And I was like, okay. And the TV show kind of scrambled to figure out how do we continue. And knowing every week more and more information came out about the virus, where you can't be singing, you can't be talking, you got to be covered. How is a choir going to be in a space to sing out? And I remember the produce, and while that's happening, while the show's trying to figure out how to keep us involved, we became a first responder. We became an essential, or not a first responder, but like an essential business that stayed open. So we had a 4-day-a-week distribution center happening downtown. And a lot of our unsheltered members contacted us and said, hey, like we're out of food out here. Like we're alone, like people out in their cars, living in their cars, they were freaked out. Everyone was like,
Yes.
when the whole world goes away, it's like a movie, like it was a scary movie.
Yes.
People that were outside alone, it was very eerie. And so John at the time and like the crew said, okay, like we activated elected officials, he wrote a letter of, we got to open up the convention center for housing. We were a part of writing that letter to like make thousands of people move inside. And then we also decided to respond by, I was cooking in my house and making food for our seniors, and we were delivering food. Then we opened up a distribution center.
Yeah.
All that's happening that the show knows nothing about. Not that they don't care, but that's not in their concern, right?
Yeah.
All they're concerned about is like, how do we keep you in the show?
Yeah.
So we kept having meetings, and they finally said, okay, we're going to come to San Diego for the second taping. We're going to go into a COVID-safe environment. I'm using bunny ears here. COVID-safe environment. I was like, no one knows what that means, right? But it ended up, they booked Studio West, which has now become a great partner, Studio West in San Diego. We're going to put each choir member in front of a green screen. We're going to put earphones on the choir member. Okay, first of all, choir had not even like been in a studio before.
Yeah.
You know, we were teaching by feel. So all of a sudden we can't even see the choir. And everything was on Zoom. We were learning how to do Zoom, but whatever. So we're going to come down, we're going to use a studio, you're going to go in there, and each choir member is going to film in front of a green screen. Then we're going to use CG, and we're going to blend it all together, and we'll have 5 of you on stage live, and the choir will be hologram behind you. I still remember, amazing. But I still remember that meeting, and I was like, I was so like overwhelmed. I just like slid out of the Zoom, and I just like actually like slumped down. Like I was so exhausted, and just like my back was going out, and I was like, this is too much. I said, why don't you call us next year? Like, we'll come back next year. And they're like, no, we got it. So they really kept us in. So that's my experience. It was pretty grueling and demanding on me and all the meetings, but the choir, I think, that came for the taping and also went in the studio with all the outfits and all the experience. Talk about that, because I think that all felt pretty good. Did it feel pretty good?
It sure did.
Yes. Okay. Look at that. You loved the nice outfits. Tell me about the outfits. Tell me about the experience.
Oh man, it was just awesome. Just first time ever really being in a studio. So I was like, okay, this is cool. This is sort of like right up my alleyway. What I'm going to school for. So just going in there, learning the parts. We got the parts, and we learned them and listening to it in the ears. So just that experience of, thinking in your ear and then singing and all of that. I'm like, oh, this is really cool. I enjoyed it. I didn't care how stressful it got. I just loved the journey. I kept telling everybody, the journey is the fun that counts. And then we got there and we did it, and we went into the studio and we did the takes. I did 3 perfect takes, your words. It was really good.
Also, each choir member that came in, Victor's talking about, they got 3 takes. One was a practice, the second one was taped, and the third one was taped. And they would take the best of each one. So it's a very odd way to record a choir. As individual singers, when you're singing is one by one. And not only was the individual in a studio for the first time, they were in front of a green screen in front of like 15 or 20 NBC producers.
Oh yeah.
And a choreographer and hair and makeup, and everybody's in a room. It was so intense. It was so intense because it was like, and mind you, you're getting swabbed up the face by a COVID tech
and sneezing
and like a big wick is shoved up in my brain one day. Like they're like, you can't come in. I was like, what are you talking about?
And that's when the COVID tests were serious.
They were so
serious. They would stick that thing up into your brain and like
roll it out around.
Yes.
And
it was very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I would sneeze like crazy when they did that.
How was your experience, Irma? Just doing those tapings?
Well, first of all, we got free clothes.
Ooh.
I still got my green.
And they were very nice clothes. They weren't not, bargain basement. They were really nice. I still have the jacket. It's a beautiful jacket. Kind of like the white and black.
So nice.
It's like a Chanel, cut with the little black piping. I said, oh yes, I like this. I was very happy. Very.
Stacey Adams too.
Stacey Adams.
Yeah, it was really nice.
You guys were getting pampered. What about
We were.
you, Dennis?
Well, for me, I still have the shirt and the shoes that they gave me from Studio West at the time when we did it. It was hectic because each choir member had to go in at a certain time. If you're not there on time, you miss your chance.
Wow.
It's like you had to schedule each choir member from different locations all around San Diego. Get them up there, get them a ride home and back.
Gotta coordinate all that.
Coordinate everything.
We had Beth Hall at the time, who was doing our logistics, who went on from working with Voices to be the stage manager at the San Diego Symphony, and she just got the artistic director at the New York Philharmonic.
Yeah.
She just got, so she was so good at planning the logistics of every single thing. She was the perfect person for that era.
She was superb. She was.
What about you, Ray? Ray?
You know, I was not expecting to get anything falling from the ceiling. That's for darn sure. All I knew is, let's do this. Let's do this. And I loved the song. So when we got up there, everybody was doing their little dances and all that stuff. I was like, ooh, we're ready for this. And we did it. And the way you started just sent us all with the din din. That started us all. We were ready after that. After Steph put the beginning in it. Oh yeah, we were flying to the ceiling then. Very good.
What'd you think of the clothes they put us in? Didn't you get some little outfit? Did you get a little outfit for the tapings?
Yeah, I got some clothes, but I had to put a little something of mine on there.
A little bedazzle.
I don't put a little dazzle dizzle on that. Yeah.
A little Raven.
Raven is bedazzled in it.
Yeah.
And when you guys were recording in front of these green screens and doing that at Studio West, how did it feel to see it on? How long did it take before you actually seen like the performance up on the screen?
They showed us. We saw it live.
Yeah.
They didn't let us see it before.
No,
Yeah. And it actually caused a little bit of tension in the choir because we were told that it's going to be like they're there live, but the CG wasn't very clear. And so the holograms of the choir looked a little bit more ambiguous, like they weren't as defined. And so by the second and third time, it was more defined, but they were just kind of working it out.
And then we had our own cameras on us.
So many cameras.
So we were on camera reacting to what was happening. So, we're like reacting and looking and so we were on camera too at the same time that we were
Getting the live reaction, right?
Oh, you're talking about the
watch playing back, like
yeah.
wait, wait.
Yeah, it was.
The judges would have to give the scores, I guess, afterwards, after you guys filmed and did all of this and watch it live. Right?
Yeah. It was like not in front of an audience anymore. So it was in we were at the Universal lot, I think. Yeah. And so it was a sound stage studio. There was a gazillion LED screens behind us and they would flash America, like watching at home. Because everyone was on Zoom. So every screen was like a face. And I'm telling you, like, it's like the height of the cathedral of LED screens. Like, okay, like it's like massive. And then we're like on this huge stage and there's stars lit up on the stage. And then behind us were screens. So we're like we're watching ourselves and some of the choir that couldn't be live on stage in a COVID safe distance, they watched from home.
Yeah, we were zooming also.
Yeah,
from
yeah.
home. There's about eight of us that zoomed from home.
That's the one that Phyllis fell asleep on?
Yes.
Oh, really?
She fell asleep on that one.
She fell asleep. I believe, if I'm not wrong, someone correct me when you guys were recording the I Need a Hero. I guess she fell asleep while you guys were recording it on the Zoom, so we cut her out completely because she was full asleep.
She's like, I got edited.
Who was that?
Well, but showbiz, even in a audition-y reality TV show, there's a lot of hurry up and wait.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And to be sitting at a screen in your own apartment alone for like hours.
Yeah,
it's hard to stay awake.
Yeah.
It's hard to like keep energy up, and so I remember somebody texted me a photo. Phyllis is asleep, like on the screen, and I like saw the picture, and I looked behind me, and like she was like out of the frame. Yeah.
So when you guys went to Universal Studios, they gave you an audience basically on Zoom, like a big crowd instead of like a live crowd. Wow, that's dope. That's kind of trippy.
It is, yeah.
Very trippy.
Yeah, it was really, the experience is so random and like couldn't have planned it.
True.
To your manifesting, to your insight, you and John or you and Wayne, or when you guys have said and you've thought and felt things, that's the power of a group of people coming together in alignment.
Yeah.
When it's clear and pure and those intentions are there, everybody's manifesting.
Yeah.
Everybody's like holding that dream.
Yes.
And like, I never heard you say that, I've heard you say other things, but I never heard you say that you had that kind of, that thought. But it was just couldn't have been planned. But it was so extreme how we were there was like, we called them the COVID police because there was a girl like with a clipboard and she was like in a golf cart and she was like, with a megaphone. She's like, back away, you're too close. Like there was even like a stick on stage. Remember the stick to keep us like a certain distance apart? Like it was wild.
You gotta be on the X.
It was wild.
6 feet, everybody, 6 feet.
I remember that.
It was really
the
intense.
time I came in to Voices during the COVID shutdown, so it was after you guys came back, and I remember you telling me that you had a bunch of interviews lined up and that you guys were going to go on talk shows, but COVID hit, so everything got shut down. How did it feel in that time? And what were the key elements to bringing Voices to where it is now, like in these 5 years that passed?
Well, like, I thought us being in a studio for the first time, like I was nervous how that would go, especially to have so many film crew around and these expectations of a green screen and a choreographer and hair and makeup. Like that was so different than where we had been. But everybody rose to that challenge. Then we had to stay connected through a computer. Some people didn't even really have a phone. So we had to get computers donated, and then we had to teach some people how to use the technology, including myself. I didn't know how to really run a Zoom meeting at the time, but so along the way, every step we learned new skills. And because we had to be online, we had to teach the music a little bit in a different way. And we would have rehearsals in Zoom.
Oh, wow.
So it I don't know, it just kind of gave us more tools to more tools to learn music and to work together as a group, I think.
Yeah.
And right? I mean, do you remember that? I mean, we stayed connected.
Yeah,
We did.
Yes.
We did.
You remember that? You want to say anything about this?
It was hard with the Zoom and everything. It's like once a week, try to do choir, only Steph singing, everybody else has to be mic'd or muted. Even songwriting was a little hard because everybody's at home. We're not actually able to meet physically.
What kept you staying connected, though? What kept you clicking the button and going to the meeting?
Because I knew I had the choir family.
Yeah.
And I have also other friends I can talk to over the phone, see how they're doing.
That you met through the choir.
Through the choir.
Exactly.
Even though I was at home, I just didn't want to be there a lot.
Yeah. It strengthened relationships, I think.
Yeah. I was doing college during that time, and I didn't like it. I used to like being in the class, and when I was doing Zoom, I was like, because I would lose myself. I would start eating, or I'll go, I'll get bored and I'll go do something else.
Yeah.
It was tough. So from that time, what for everyone, this is a question for everyone, in these last 5 years, since this, we're now at the anniversary of, 5 years of the Golden Buzzard, how has, from that time to now, how has all this impacted your lives? You guys are all still here. You're all still connected. There's a lot of other choir members that were up on the stage that are still here. Some have gone to be in their place of rest. But how has that journey been in these 5 years? What's the most important thing for
I'd
you
like
guys?
to share something. At the time that I joined the choir, I had been working for a nonprofit, teaching literacy skills, financial literacy skills to 5th and 6th graders. So after this incredible experience that we had, and subsequently after COVID, I saw that the lessons that we would teach, the last lesson is a 12-week course, and the last one is creativity. So all of the students have to share their special creativity, whatever it is. And then I said, I'm going to share my creativity with you. So I would, take I would take this and I would tell them, notice this, and then I would show them. After they did all of theirs, then I'd show them the golden buzzer. And these students just would lose their minds. They would be like, oh, I see you, I see you. They would be so excited that they would see me. And then when we'd get the golden buzzer, they would jump and scream and applaud, and they would be so into it. And then I would tell them, now, when we got back from that incredible experience, it was raining. It was 11:30 at night when we got back. And I said I had to wait because my ride was late. It was like, and I said, and some of our friends got off the bus and just rolled their little suitcases out and put their blankets out on the street.
Yeah.
And I said, and it broke my heart. And I tell them, you could be the generation to stop this, and everybody could have somewhere to live. You all can do it. And they really take it to heart. And maybe a week later, I send them a card with a piece of confetti so they can touch it and remember the lesson.
Power of creativity.
Yeah. So important to mention, of the polished, finished video or the moment, that there were still members in the group at that time that were outside. Yes. And whenever we have finished a big performance, that there are always people that are still unhoused that are in the group and in the community. And yeah, totally. That's really, it's.
And what I do think is important to highlight also what you said is that you guys are also all a light of inspiration for people. Like, just you existing and being in this space is a testament, like, you can do it. You can do it, and you can be a source of inspiration. Like, for you, I had no idea. You've been inspiring the next generations, and we didn't even know. Like, you guys should be so proud. And so proud, loud and proud for what you guys have been doing and continue to do. So I'm proud of everybody here.
For me, up to this point, I stick around. Y'all may have heard me say, I'm sure you've heard me say this many times. I stick around because I love the positivityness, and I love seeing the change in people. Just coming here to the choir, you're going to go through change for the better. And I've seen people come and they go through this change because after a time of being here, they realize that, hey, I'm seen. I don't have to try to be, I need to be seen. They're seen, they're recognized, and they are allowed to be able to express their creativity, and it can come out because it's all done in an uplifting environment. And I like that, and I share that all the time. Just shared it again this week. I show the video, and I always end with this: that same energy that we gave there, we give every Monday. You see, and that's one reason people sometimes don't even know why they keep coming back. They just know it feels good. But through that feel good process, they're going through a change, and sometimes I have to say, you know what, this one might need a little bit more time than the next one, but I love seeing that process because they're changing, and I always do my best to try to lift people up and help them get to that change, and understand and respect them also. So this is an awesome environment. We have truly created an environment that's, everybody want to be able to say, yes, it's a safe environment. But when you really pull back the curtain, it's really a safe environment. But I can honestly say we have created that here with the choir, and that's why we stick around, and that's why it continues to go on,
And I want to say also, I'm amazed at, myself also, to be able to get up to a mic and sound good. That's a good feeling. And I want to thank you, Steph, for that. Put me out there, but get out there. Just do what you got to do. I love it. It's a good feeling.
It was a goal of yours
Yes.
to eventually get up on that stage and do a solo, and I know you've done it.
Yeah, yeah.
So
And it feels good. It really feels good when you can
Dennis-
get out there and sound.
Dennis just did his first.
Yes, he did. You
solo.
sound good, Dennis.
Yep, he
did.
I've been here
Proud
4
of you.
years, and I got to see. It was a good thing to see you up there and doing your solo and doing your thing. It was beautiful.
Thank you.
Right.
Yep.
Because when I looked over the playlist from Monday, it's like, you know what? I'm gonna schedule a one-on-one session, and I'm gonna practice that song.
And that's another thing I often notice you, Steph. You kind of gently push them out there, and if they don't want to, you kind of pull back, but it's all done in such a effort of genuine love. And I love seeing that, I love seeing that. And I think everybody have said, quiet, I'm not a singer, but
Right.
they find themselves doing something that they never thought they would have been doing.
Shower.
Well, what caused that is the love and the empathy that we kind of foster here in the choir, and that's the beautiful thing. That's what keeps me around. And I say, if we ever get away from that, then I'm running. But I don't think we're gonna get away from this. We've been going for a good while, and this is so beautiful. This is so beautiful. I feel, even when I'm not here, I still feel connected to this choir, and I'm always in my own way lifting this choir up. Okay, it's just a beautiful thing.
And yeah, because not only are the people uplifting or the performances, sometimes it's the performance itself. Like we have three that we've highlighted here. We have like the live album recording that we did recently.
Oh, love
That was
them.
a big one.
That was a good one.
When we did the Rent, Singing with Rent from Broadway.
Oh yeah,
That was a big one.
awesome.
When we went to 2018 with the symphony and with Samir Patel, that was a big one too.
LA too?
We've done a lot. I've just
Talk about the will turn.
right now I'm just listing them right now. When we went with Dr. Bernice King as well.
That's the
Dr.
one I
Bernice
missed.
King.
I missed
That's
that
a big one.
Oh
I'm
my
just
gosh.
curious. Everybody
That's a big
has,
stuff.
obviously has their different favorites.
Yes,
What has been what's been the most significant
That's the
concert for
question.
you and why?
Mine, I'm going to say mine real quick, is when we went for the animal thing where you couldn't wear any animal. No. Mine was the people that were without limbs.
Oh, the challenged athletes. We did a concert with the nonprofit Challenged Athletes, and they had athletes from all around the world that have, different
No arms,
like
no legs.
amputations, but they still compete. And they're still right.
Sound beautiful.
And we had this kind of shared afterwards. Well, we performed together.
Yes.
Yeah, and that was pretty epic.
That was really
But afterwards, I remember the athletes talking to me and some of the choir members saying, a lot of us experience homelessness. We represent a very, very small percentage of people with disabilities who actually are housed. So there was like a connection there. But yeah, that was special. But the concert before that you were talking about
With the animals.
was we did a fashion show randomly in Los Angeles, and Shannon Doherty was there and Moby, and it was a vegan fashion show, and it was totally bizarre. It was so random.
That's great. I loved it.
All these like skinny models like came in and they were like, "Where's the stage?" We were like, and then they did their catwalk thing, and then we performed at it. It was so bizarre, in a good way.
Yeah.
We said yes to events and to gigs, and I remember Shannon Doherty was like, "Hell yeah!" She was like digging it.
Oh yeah, she was
Like,
loving it.
yeah.
Yeah, she was loving it. Right in the front row.
Yeah.
Yes.
We done
That was
done
good.
so many events. I
Yes,
think
we
they're all
have.
special in their own little way.
Yes, they are.
One that kind of stands out for me was, for whatever reason, back in my mind, I always said, I'm going to be on that stage one day, and that was the symphony up here. The
radio
San
show?
Diego Symphony, not the radio
Oh.
show. Inside the San Diego Symphony.
This
okay.
the new Jacobs musical or whatever. Yeah.
And it's just been in my heart, like, I would love to be on that stage, and then it happened. So,
What was
Talk
that?
about it.
That was a rent.
it was I don't.
It was last year.
It was last year, right? Yeah, last year. And what really stood out was, I was like, oh my gosh, theaters can pick up anything, especially on how they're made. And I was like, oh my gosh, this thing gonna pick up everything. And I remember thinking, oh no, we're too far apart, because we were like far apart from each other. They kind of had us here, and then the next person was there. We spread all across the stage. I'm like, oh no. And I didn't feel like I like to make sure I'm blending with everybody around me and the music sound. And I felt like, I said, oh, Victor, I felt like I was almost on my own. And so I was like just singing like you're supposed to sing. and it came out really good. And they had just remodeled it. And so
it was the grand opening.
Yeah.
And we were like one of four choirs they asked to perform.
Yes.
And we kind of closed out our hour and had a sing-along. So we had a sing-along with the audience too, which was pretty cool.
And yes, and they sure did join in.
Yeah, we went.
Because it was kind of a crowd where you kind of, sit there and be nappy-pappy and be like, but after we got on and we brought it, we kind of got the life into them.
Speaking about that stage, that's a world-renowned stage.
It is.
We have gotten to perform at like your local chili cook-off, to like NBC Universal, pizzeria, like you name it. Like we'll be like, you want to have us, we're there. But the way the choir lines up.
Yes.
And is like ready to go on the stage. One of those concerts right before the pandemic, right before we were on AGT, we opened up a benefit concert at the Wiltern in Los Angeles. And on the ticket was like the living members of The Doors. Jason Mraz was the closer. Dave Stewart from the Eurythmics. There was like so many different artists on that bill. Fits in the Tantrums. So many epic artists. And we were asked to come out, and they were like, yeah, same thing. A producer has a meeting with me. He's like, so can you get the audience to sing along? I was like, sure, no problem. We got it. and we were all lined up to go out. This is a huge venue, a really stunning venue. And all those artists are on the bill. And the choir's just like, no problem.
That was at the Wiltshire, right?
Yeah. We're ready. We walked out, and it was just Ed Kornhauser on keys.
Oh, yeah.
And I think I was on guitar, maybe?
Yeah,
was I playing a little guitar? That was it. And the choir was just like, oh. I'm putting my little hands out, right? Like in case somebody isn't watching this, like Care Bear stare, like the energy and love coming from our bellies, And and I remember at that show we did Love Train and taught the audience like a simple little part, and Phyllis was singing, and it was just really cool. It's really cool the place, and to see, but the way the choir stands and is professional and backstage and is so proud and positive.
Right.
Yes. Really committed to
we're doing,
this thing that's going to happen. Yes. I mean, that's the most special thing. That's why every performance is so special. It's not like one is better. Yeah. They just always are really present.
Yes.
They're in the moment, and it is what it is, and it's always very special.
I agree.
And that's something that just it really stands out, because we're not professionals, but we command that stage like we're like professionals. That we
own
know
it.
what we're doing.
We own it.
It's like
professionals.
Yeah.
We own it. Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Yeah. What do you want to say, Raven?
Yes, we own that stage when we get out there, and I love that part.
Yeah.
Thanks to this lady right here.
What's your favorite performance?
Because I did not sing for about 20 years before I joined the choir. And the choir inspired me to get back into music. So when it wasn't a particular concert, but a moment when I realized we're singing 4-part harmony. And the feelings that just rushed through me is being in there and just listening to, it was angelic. It was so beautiful. It was so complete, and it just took me to another place.
It was your welcoming home.
Yeah, I really.
That's like striking the chord,
Yes.
and that goes to speak to how much work has been put in.
Yes.
The organization growing, us being able to also bring on Natalie.
Yes.
Natalie Bradley, our co-choir director.
She's incredible.
Who actually like has choir directing experience.
Yes.
Like I kind of got, after Nina passed and I was looking for a choir director to be with us, I kind of finally turned to the choir and was like, you're stuck with me, like we're going to make the best out of this. But I don't have like that special wheelhouse and experience of like, really sounding on a choir. Like I do my thing, but like Natalie coming on board and really having these sectionals every Thursday.
Yes.
And helping craft, like,
Yes.
It's been like a game changer, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I can focus on other aspects of my duties.
Yes.
So she can really like just be focused on the music, and that's great.
Yes.
Favorite performance?
Ooh, that's a hard one because I
Come on,
guess for
Dan.
me would be my very first concert at Nina's church.
Mm.
Oh, wow.
I came in as a spectator, met Beck, Steph, Nina, sat in the back
God.
because I haven't sang since 2012.
Wow.
4 years later, I come in, see the documentary at the library. 3 weeks later, I go in as a spectator, go out as a choir member.
Wow.
That's where I met Steph, Nina, and then the rest of them. Because you actually sat down with me in the back
Yeah.
with Nina. Says, come on, come join us. And so I was like, look, I don't know any of the songs. 'Cause I just came as a spectator with Mark K. Carrying his guitar.
He was
The spectator he left as a
choir
member.
As a member.
Yeah.
And then later, I would have to say our one great concert was with the San Diego Master Chorale.
in the symphony.
And the symphony, yes.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely.
Nina was up there directing in her white gloves
What?
with all of us.
It's beautiful.
3-day show,
That's right.
different choir members each night.
Oh wow, that's right.
Wow.
It was hard to choose from, but you had to do it.
We could only have like so many people on
X amount of
stage, and
numbers.
then we had a smaller size choir, but we could mix it up.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was for the I can never say it right, Tchaikovsky concert that they do with the symphony. So that's when they da 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 da, the cannon, they pull the
Oh.
So in the midst of that very popular annual concert they do, we worked on a tune together with the symphony, the people planning it, and also the conductor who was the guest conductor for that day. That was Samir Patel, who's become a great friend and an ally and colleague. And I mean, it was very strange because he was directing. His back was to the audience, and he's directing the symphony, and the master chorale is like behind his back, which is very strange, right? And then Nina was on a box out in the audience of thousands of people, and like we were about to do the song, and there's like a spotlight on the box, and like Nina's not quite there yet because it was like a long walk, and all of a sudden it was time to go, and there's just a spotlight and there's no Nina, and I was like, okay, where's Nina? And then all of a sudden here come the white gloves and you see her like through the audience, choop, 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 and she's like, and she like appears on the box, and she gets up on the box, and she was so beautiful when she conducted.
Yeah.
She's so proud of you guys. She's so like inspiring to watch, and anyways, and so two conductors. I wasn't directing, right? I just spoke.
Yeah, you spoke.
I
and
spoke a
sang
little
with
bit,
us.
and I sang with the choir. But like the two conductors conducting such a massive amount of people is very hard, and it was like super epic, super beautiful. It was what was the song? Oh, what was the song?
Amazing Grace.
Amazing Grace. And it was a version of Amazing Grace, which all lives on our YouTube channel. And it was like broadcast night at PBS. But anyways, it was only 2018. Like we had just started, and we got that gig.
Yeah.
It was pretty wild.
I want to say one more. The best I thought was we did the songs we've written, all the songs. We did it for the tiny desk, which I listen to all the time. It's called the Tiny Desk.
The San Diego,
Yeah, it's the San Diego.
We did it. We did it.
Yes.
We did a thing for San Diego
my-
magazine.
Magazine, yeah.
But they did their own. What do they call it?
It's
But-
their own version of their tiny desk.
But they
Yes.
called it In Studio, or they had a different name.
Yeah, they
But it's
changed
not.
it.
Yeah. It's not.
Tiny Desk.
It's not-
Yeah.
I remember the name,
Okay.
but it is in their offices. They're working offices.
Yes.
In their working
We
office.
were in their offices, right? But it wasn't the NPR
That's
tiny
beautiful, and all our original songs we wrote, all of them, and I thought that was just astonishing. We sounded.
We have a lot of
extremely
original songs now,
Extremely nice.
which is really cool.
So
be
check it
on
out.
the
Check it out.
Awesome.
Yeah, we have all these tracks we recorded, their last live recording in March, and we're writing a new song to go with our gala, go with our event in our benefit, I should say, our benefit concert, annual benefit concert in October. And I really want to try to wrap up this song in songwriting. And if we could have like a live recording and make it a special gift to people that night, even just like, because the name of the event, And Still We Sing, is the name of the song, And Still We Sing.
Yeah.
And it is sounding so cool. So I'm excited how quickly things are flowing in the original.
So everybody needs to be on the lookout for
October
these
25.
October 25.
Get it on your calendar.
We have a new release. We got a concert.
That's right.
We got so much going
And we
on.
also have all of our theater monologues, like some really special theater pieces that are going to be featured, different art and the things we do that help us express who we are, feel better and more confident to express who we are, and better navigating the lives and dreaming and creating the lives we want. That's what voice is.
We could do some of that at the gala this year.
Yeah.
What about Glory?
Okay, you're dusting off the whole.
That's how we felt.
I'm digging. I'm digging.
Listening to all
Glory.
these talk about,
Yes.
it's such a big journey, 5 years, and it sounds like it must have been like just yesterday, but
Really good.
a lot has happened. A lot of good has happened since then, right?
Yes.
A lot has changed,
Yes.
but it's all positive. It's been mostly positive. It's been great, but even looking back then, a question that I've been floating around to everybody is, if you can give yourself a piece of advice to the you 5 years ago, right before on stage, right before even knowing this is what's gonna happen. Like, what would you give yourself as an advice 5 years ago?
Me personally, I wouldn't change anything because I like the way it is right now. I have the choir family. I'm happy where I am.
Cool.
I would say just stay in the moment and enjoy everything and just feel it all. And don't be distracted by anything else.
It's a beautiful sentiment.
I would let my 5-year younger self know that help is on the way. Great, your mission. The mission is rolling, enjoy the moment, and like it's gonna keep going, and more people will be attracted to it, and they're gonna help carry it forward, and it's gonna grow into something beautiful.
For me, I would say, remember why you're here. Remember the purpose why you came here. And that is, I love the emotion, the positivityness, the empathy we provide, the community that we build. And I always keep that focused on my mind.
Well, that's been VOCC for y'all. Sounds of the Sidewalk.
It's been a very beautiful hearing all your guys' gems and stories, things that a lot of our listeners might never know, they never knew. Even Steph was surprised on a couple. Like, oh yeah, I remember. Taking everybody, each other back to memory lane. It's a blessing to be here in this organization. It's a blessing to be part of this mission, and to watch it grow to where it is now. I've been with Voices for 4 years, and through creativity, I was allowed to start this podcast. And now we're here and we're doing a roundtable podcast, and it's about to air. So I'm very thankful for every one of you and for everything we do here.
What would you tell your 5 years ago self to now? What would you what nugget of wisdom, or what would you remind yourself?
It's I mean, from where I came 5 years ago, I was in prison. I was doing a 26-year life sentence. And my motto was always never lose hope. You know, because if you lose hope, you go into a real dark place. And I always kept hope. I always seen a light at the end of the tunnel. And that's what I focused on. I didn't focus on all the darkness that was around me. And there was a lot of darkness in that world. But I focused on the light and on, you know, there's many ways to get places, you know. And my thing was, how am I going to get to that light? And one of the beautiful things about Voices is that when I was in prison, I seen the documentary, right? I didn't know I was going to come work here, right? But I seen the documentary. They were from San Diego. I was like, dang, that's dope. They're in San Diego. I was doing a lot of nonprofit work inside of prison with nonprofits up north. But I was like, man, that's dope. So fast forward, I get found suitable. I regained my freedom. And 2 years after I was released, my parole officer called me and she's all, hey, Rivera, I got good news. I said, what's up? She's all, you're free. Because when you're on parole, you're still not free. They still have like a little chain. So anything you do, you could go back into the system and you don't know if you're going to come out of the system. But she told me you're free. So I was like, oh man, I can move back to San Diego. So I started looking for jobs. And then on Indeed, I seen Voices. And I'm like, man, I wonder if that's the people I seen the documentary on. So I did some investigation, and next thing you know, I'm on a Zoom interview with Steph, and they cried. They said, "You have any lived experience?" I said, "Yeah," and I told them my story, and they cried. So I was like, "Dude, I don't know if this is good or not." They're crying in my interview, but I got a call a couple of days later, and they said, "We want to offer you the job," and I was like, "I'm there." So
It just goes to show that nothing happens for no reason.
You are appreciated.
So
Yes, Enrique, you are.
You know, we're talking a lot about the 5 years ago, and we're also, I love honoring the people who helped get us to that moment and what happened after, right? There's like these periods in an organization where you have kind of like the beginning, the middle, and like the after. And I feel like we're somewhere in the middle, you know? And so I want to honor the people that are here now and mention Dennis Crosby, who has been with us for like a couple years. Nyleni sitting right here. I'm sorry. See, I have no idea what year it is. It's like, what day is it? And of course, Lindsay Seegers, who came on, and we're in this beautiful building, thanks to, you know, Lindsay's connections to friends here that welcomed us at St. Paul's Cathedral. And so 5 years ago, I felt like I was really pulled like by my collar of my shirt, like dragged underneath a car or something, you know, like something was happening and I was being used in a spiritual way, in a bigger way that I didn't know. But I had friends and I had family and my husband, Rob, like people around me who were like, don't give up, you know, don't give up hope. And they would look after me a little bit when I get a little too crazy. But where it is now that we get to focus on creativity and proving, you know, over and over again that art and art making and creativity and collaboration is the foundation. It can be it's the pillar of my, it's me, you know, but like it's all of us, you know, it saved my life. It's you, you know, it's you. It's you too.
It's everybody in different ways.
Yes, it's you.
It's you and me. It's unity.
Yeah, it's you and me. It's unity. So
It's community.
Nina would be real proud.
Well, I really want to thank everybody for being part of this podcast. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Sounds of the
Thank
Sidewalk.
you.
Thank you for inviting me.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Go listen. Look at the video if you haven't seen it.
Oh, I'm gonna.
Well, that's a wrap on today's episode of Sounds of the Sidewalk. Just by listening, you've done something powerful. You've helped amplify voices that deserve to be heard. We are so grateful to the Conrad Previs Foundation for making this podcast possible, and to our individual donors who believe in the transformative power of music and community. To our donors, you're not just supporting a choir, you're supporting dreams, healing, and the beautiful truth that everyone has a song worth singing. And on that note, pun intended, want to come visit and be a part of the music? Join us Monday mornings for open rehearsal. Find out more on voicesofourcity.org and learn about upcoming events like our biggest, craziest, most magical benefit concert of the year coming this October. We look forward to connecting with you because this community is better when you're a part of it. After all, we're all just walking each other home.